The time has come to downsize my record collection. Yes, you heard right. I'll tell you more coming up right after this. Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome back to Sundays on Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl gear and more. Chilling in the basement. Be young, have fun, drink Diet Pepsi? I don't know. Ooh. As I said off the top, the time has come to downsize my record collection. I'll tell you more right now.
Channel 33 RPM.
So, like many of you, I've been working from home, and as I work from home, I've been going through the collection and listening to records, and I've told this story before, but I sort of had, I guess, an epiphany, for lack of a better word, maybe a year ago, where a friend came over and said, "Frank, do you have enough time in your life to listen to all your records again?" And the truth is, I don't. It would take like weeks of solid listening just to get through them. So part of the project I had this spring was to kind of go through them and figure out which records I'm probably not going to listen to again, or probably not going to get a lot of attention from me, or just records I haven't heard in a while. And there were some surprises. Some records I hadn't heard in a while I fell in love with again. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. I got to hang on to that. And other ones were, they'll probably find a better home in someone else's collection. So I've amassed all these. These are the ones I'm going to sell. I'm going to put them on local. I'm going to sell them locally. So the other thing is, the point of this video is not to sell records to you guys. Truthfully, I don't want to mail any of these records. That's a whole other world of pain. And maybe after you watch this video, let me know in the comments, have you ever sort of downsized your collection or gone through it, and how did that go? And did you have any regrets? Because it's always the biggest thing, regrets, right? And the thing is, with this money I'm going to get from this, I'm probably going to reinvest in the collection, or what I really want, I said this before, I want to get a Technics. This is like the other, I always hear comments from people, no, it's Technics. No, it's Technics. I want to invest in a Technics SL1200 turntable, an MK2, maybe a 5. Anyway, that's kind of what I hope to do in 2020. So hopefully this will bring me closer to that goal. Anyway, I'm babbling too much. Let's check out some vinyl. Okay, first thing I'll show you is these 7-inch records. I buy 7-inch from time to time, but I'm not a fan of 7-inch. You gotta turn them over after every song, basically. And I bought some of these just because I thought they were neat. But and thinking it over, I'm probably gonna get rid of almost all of my 7-inch here. I'll just show you some highlights. David Bowie, The Stars Are Out Tonight. And this one, I wanted this one for the longest time. This is the Ozzy Osbourne Believer live with Randy Rhoads. And I finally found it several years back. It's the one on polka dot vinyl. I'm a big Randy fan. I might change my mind about this one. I don't know. It's got Believer and the new version of Goodbye to Romance on it. What else is in here? Alice Cooper, Bite Your Face Off. I'm a Coop fan, but I don't need that. Some Hendrix. What else? Faith No More, Fall Into Pieces, Hendrix, Hey Joe. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of these songs. I dig all of these, but I don't listen to them. Anthrax, Monster at the End. This was a good one, Record Store Day one. Willie Nelson, Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die. More RSD, Stones, Got Live If You Want It. The funny thing is, I looked up most of these 7-inch singles, the Record Store Day ones, on Discogs, and the value has not increased, or it's actually decreased since Record Store Day. A lot of us talk about Record Store Day records increasing in value. Most of the 7-inches have decreased. Regina, Spectre, You've Got Time. I'll go through these ones fast. I won't go through all of them. James Brown. Oh, this is a cool one. Ronnie James Dio and Killswitch Engage. It's a 7-inch split. It's 2 versions of Holy Diver. Again, cool stuff. I just never listened to 7-inch. Metallica, Enter Sandman. London Choir Boys. Hey You, or just Choir Boys if you're from England. Ugly Kid Joe, Lita Ford. Anything interesting in here? Judas Priest, Breaking the Law. This is a gatefold. Those are pretty much the highlights of the 7-inch singles. Let's get to some more interesting stuff. I'm going to flip the camera when I do the 12-inch, but quickly, it's only a handful of 10-inch. This was a Record Store Day Black Friday. U2 Ordinary Love. Which one is this? Another Record Store Day one. CCR, the 69 singles. Again, out of curiosity, I checked the value of the Record Store Day 10 inches, and they don't maintain their value at all. Yes, oh, I got a daughter here. What's up?
Do you know when you get 100K fans, you could get the silver play button?
I did know that, yeah.
How much do you need to get the bronze?
That I don't know. My daughter just came to tell me that if you have 100,000 YouTube subscribers, you get a sort of play button. Cowboy Junkies, Canadian band, 10-inch. That was a garage sale find a while back. Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, garage sale find. Lenny Kravitz, Mr. Cab Driver, 10-inch. Lenny Kravitz, Let Love Rule, 10-inch. And what's this one? Another Record Store Day one. Ramones, Meltdown, 10-inch. I switched angles so you can see what albums I have here a bit better. Monkeys, Greatest Hits. Model, it's a band from Edmonton, Alberta. Starship, Knee Deep in the Hoopla. The Sword, Warp Riders. This album is actually really good, kind of stoner, psychedelic rock / metal. This was the original copy I got. It came slightly warped, so I got a replacement copy sent to me. It's still playable, so I'll sell that one to someone for a discount price. Duran Duran, Max Webster, a couple of kids albums. I got this one for the album cover. German drinking songs. I mean, I got it at the thrift store. How do you say no to that? Beatles. Beasties, Paul's Boutique. I know some of you are going to say, Frank, what the heck are you doing selling that one? I'm not the biggest Beastie Boys fan. A couple albums licensed to Ill Communication I really dig. I know Paul's Boutique is heralded as this landmark hip-hop album. You'd probably get more love and more spins in someone else's collection. Neely John Roth. 6 a.m. I really, really, really wanted to like this band, but it's just not for me. Some kid stuff. Cars. Candio. Something about this album artwork, isn't there? Anyway, I do dig this album. I have a couple of copies of it. Monty Python, not the biggest fan. Have a couple copies of Venus and Mars. Again, comedy albums, not really for me. So there's a couple Steve Martin ones in there. Some Men at Work, I had a couple copies of that. These are empty. They shouldn't even be in there. Those were stiffeners that came with some records people sent. George Benson, some smooth jazz guitar. Again, stiffeners, sound effects. It's kind of odd, wacky, and fun, isn't it? Paul Simon, kid stuff. There's more rock in the next box I'll show you. This one came by mistake. I had ordered an album from Amazon and they sent this one by mistake and too much time passed and I wasn't able to return it. So I'll pass that on. Some Great White. Honey Drippers. I really like Lucifer's Friend. Their debut album was smoking. So good. And with each subsequent release, they weren't so good. This one, it's not for me. Oh, another copy of Venus and Mars. This one is minty nice. Another Record Store Day one, 12-inch single, Say, Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson. Sometimes, Record Store Days, you just get excited and you buy things. I haven't listened to that one again. Adele, 21. This one was a thrift store find. It's a bit beaten up. The Firm, another band I really wanted to love, but I just don't. Foreigner, Agent Provocateur. It's decent. I don't listen to enough, though. Same with Springsteen there. Sting. Jeff Beck, Wired. Another one of those albums I should love in theory. It checks all the boxes, but it's just not for me. Leah Aaron, the Canadian metal queen. Another album that just doesn't get enough spins. Best of, except German pressing. This is early stuff. I have the original album, so I don't need the best of. We got lots of more great records to show you, but before that, I quickly want to pop in here and kindly suggest that if you haven't subscribed to Channel 33 RPM, to click that subscribe button, and if you want to be notified of upcoming videos, hit the bell notification. I post a new video, pretty much every single Sunday, plus the occasional Friday. Okay, another stack of wax. Let's see what's in here. Got Beach Boys, Endless Summer, English Beat, I Just Can't Stop It, Blondie, Simon and Garfunkel. Pat Travers, again, I dig him. He's all right. He checks off all the boxes, but I don't love it. Don't need it on vinyl. DLR, his second solo album, Skyscraper. I have another copy of it. Armored Saint, March of the Saint. More Pat Travers. Hope you guys can see these. Pat Travers, U2, Under a Blood Red Sky. U2, man, the more Bono talks, the less I like U2. Rattle and Hum. This is actually my favorite U2 album. I just don't listen to it enough. Neil Young. I like his earlier stuff, but I'm not the biggest Neil Young fan. This is compilation for Record Store Day. Again, not getting enough spins. Roadrunner compilations. And Live Raven. This one's cool. This one's on Bonsai. Steve Perry, some Triumph. David Bowie. This was sounds great. This is my earlier Canadian press, but it's in VG condition. So it's got some snap, crackle, pops going on. Brittany Fox. The cover is Seen Better Days. Mars, McAlpine, Aldridge, Rock, and Sarzo, Project Driver. Louis Armstrong, Chet Atkins, and Babe Ruth. Let's check this. Check the crate out. We got Linkin Park. This was the RSD one. This one's actually gone up quite a bit in value, but again, got excited on one Record Store Day. Don't listen to that a lot. Manowar. Does anyone love Manowar? I don't know. A couple Mama's Boys albums. This is more of the rock stuff now. Metal Hammer's Best of British Steel. Got some Michael Monroe. Rogue Mail. Some more metal stuff. Bonnie Tyler, It's a Heartache. I do like the tail track off that one. Susie Quantro, Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack classic. I have a couple copies of it. Anvil, Metal on Metal. There's some Anvils in here. This album I love, and I would have loved to have kept it. This is Infectious Grooves, the plague that makes your booty move. It's the Infectious Grooves. But this is the glow-in-the-dark version that came out several years back, and I bought it anyway, sort of maybe against my better judgment, because glow-in-the-dark vinyl does not tend to sound good, and that it does in a lot of surface noise. Some of you are going to be mad about this, but I bought some of the Maiden reissues, and some of the 90s, 2000 stuff, I just, I guess 2000 stuff, I just don't love. So I'm going to sell it, send it to a good home, including Dance of Death, Final Frontier, and A Matter of Life and Death. I don't know, maybe change my mind on that one. Bob Dylan. Oh, here's another Maiden. This action is really good. This is Somewhere Back in Time, but this is the picture disc version. It's got a lot of surface noise, so I wanted to love it. I want a good Iron Maiden compilation, but that isn't, not for me. Crocus. What else can I show you in here? Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters is another one of those bands that I want to love, because Dave Grohl seems like a cool cat, but much of their stuff I can't get into. Maybe if there's like a really good compilation. Check out the album artwork for this one. Candy Rocks, Sex and Leather. Another David Bowie. Maybe the other one I showed you was my 2019 reissue. Maybe this is the older Canadian press. Regardless, I found a old school OG copy that I absolutely love. Pulp Fiction picture disc. I have the black vinyl pressing of it. White Wizard, some what's this called? A new wave of traditional heavy metal, which I dig, but I couldn't really get into the White Wizard. Except I have a couple of copies of that. Van Halen. I have a couple of copies of this. Great album. Fastway, All Fired Up. Just doesn't get enough love here. Some Babe Ruth. Goathorn. Goathorn was Cauldron before Cauldron was Cauldron. And for the wrap, a couple more Anvils. Oh, I also got this. I bought the David Bowie Space Oddity box set last year. Yeah, it's okay. I know some people are going to love this one, absolutely love it. But again, it's 7-inch. I'm not going to listen to 7-inch. I'm going to stop buying 7-inch. I might change my mind and keep this one, the Aussie one, because it's kind of cool, but the rest, time for him to find a new home. So that's the downsizing. Those are the records leaving the Channel 33 RPM World headquarters. Let me know what you thought. Have you ever downsized? How did that go? Tell me the stories in the comments below, the good, the bad, the ugly. If you dug this video, please leave a quick thumbs up. Otherwise, dear 33ers, have a great week. Until next time, keep on spinning.